A soldier in combat burns far more energy than the same man at rest. Field estimates placed the caloric requirement of an active infantryman at 3,000 to 5,000 calories a day, depending on conditions. Cold weather, physical labor, and stress pushed that number higher. The ration system existed to meet that demand as close to the fighting position as logistics allowed. This was harder to solve than it sounds. A ration had to survive transport, resist spoilage, be light enough to carry, and provide enough nutrition to sustain combat effectiveness. No single package could perfectly satisfy all of those requirements at once. The United States Army addressed this by developing a tiered ration system with different packages for different situations. The A ration was the standard garrison meal, fresh or refrigerated food, prepared in a field kitchen, served hot. It required infrastructure, a kitchen, cooks, fuel, and a stable enough rear area to set up and operate. The B ration replaced fresh components with canned goods and non-perishables that could be prepared with cooking equipment but did not require refrigeration. For soldiers moving faster than a field kitchen could follow, or in positions where a kitchen would draw artillery fire, these options disappeared. The C ration was the individual combat ration. It consisted of several small cans, a meat component, a bread and accessory unit, and a small pack of supplementary items. A soldier could carry a day's worth of C rations without excessive additional weight, though carrying more than 2 days was a significant burden. The K ration was designed to be even lighter and more compact. It was originally developed for paratroopers and soldiers who needed to carry their food across restricted terrain or in fast-moving operations. 3 meals per day came in small waxed boxes, each with a main item, crackers, compressed biscuits, a beverage powder, and supplementary items. The K ration was lighter than the C ration, but also lower in calories. It was designed as a short-duration emergency ration, not as the basis for sustained operations. When soldiers carried K rations for days at a time because resupply had broken down, the caloric shortfall became operationally significant. The 10-in-1 ration was intended for 10 men for 1 day. It was more varied and nutritionally complete than individual rations, but it required a unit to stay together and share distribution. In fluid situations where squads were scattered, a 10-man ration was difficult to use efficiently. The British Army developed its own system under the term composite rations. British compo packs were also designed for multiple soldiers over 1 day and contained tinned meat, biscuits, tea, and tobacco, among other items. The German Army relied heavily on its Verpflegung system, which emphasized the field kitchen, the Gulaschkanone or rolling kitchen, as the primary means of feeding troops. A hot meal delivered forward by the field kitchen was central to German logistical thinking. When mobile operations outpaced the kitchen's ability to follow, German soldiers fell back on the Eisern portion or iron ration. The iron ration was a reserve emergency package not to be consumed without orders, a standard that was frequently overridden under operational pressure. Heat was a crucial variable across all ration systems. Hot food had caloric, morale, and physiological value that cold rations could not replicate. In winter conditions, a hot meal reduced the metabolic cost of staying warm and significantly improved soldier endurance. The challenge was delivering heat, fuel, cooking equipment, or heated containers to forward positions. Field kitchens operated well in stable defensive positions where they could set up without immediate exposure. They were vulnerable to air attack and artillery observation. A smoke column rising from a field kitchen was a visible indicator of a support position's location. Units in sustained defensive positions often managed to get hot food forward to the rifle companies at least once a day. Units in fast advances or under continuous pressure sometimes went days without anything hot. Water was a companion problem to food. Many ration components required water to prepare, beverage powders, compressed biscuits, certain canned items. Water discipline and purification were therefore tied directly to ration utility. Soldiers without clean water could not use their rations fully even if they had them. The D ration was a special-purpose chocolate bar developed for extreme emergency use. It was dense in calories and designed to be unpleasant to eat deliberately to prevent soldiers from consuming it as a snack. Its role was to sustain a man for a short period when no other food was available. The psychological dimension of the ration system was not incidental. Food represented connection to the rear, to routine, and to care. A unit that received hot meals maintained morale more easily than one that subsisted on cold cans for extended periods. This was understood by field commanders even when it was difficult to quantify. Ration supply was part of the broader logistics chain that also moved ammunition, fuel, and medical supplies. In competition for truck lift and road space, rations sometimes lost priority to ammunition during active operations. The result was units that had weapons to fight with but insufficient food to fight at full capacity. By the time World War II ended, the lessons of ration inadequacy had been documented in after-action reports across multiple theaters. The Pacific Theater presented its own challenges. Heat, humidity, and the distances of island-hopping operations complicated ration preservation and distribution. The European theater presented cold, mud, and the difficulty of maintaining hot food delivery across a front that could shift by tens of miles in a day. Neither theater fully solved the problem of getting nutritious hot food to forward soldiers consistently. What the ration system did accomplish was ensuring that most soldiers had something to eat most of the time. The packaging, the logistics chain, the doctrine for when to use which ration, all of it was imperfect, iteratively improved, and never fully adequate. The soldier carrying 2 days of K rations into a contested forest was not well fed, but he was fed enough to fight. And the machinery that put those rations in his pack, the planners, the packers, the truck drivers, the supply sergeants, was as much a part of that soldier's combat capability as anything he carried in his rifle. The institutional effort behind World War II rations was enormous even when the results were imperfect. Nutritionists, engineers, and field commanders all contributed to iterating the ration designs across the war. The K-ration of 1945 was meaningfully better than the version issued in 1942, even if neither was adequate for extended use. The ration system, in other words, was as much a statement of industrial and logistical capacity as it was a nutritional solution.